Hello and welcome to a screencast by me, Mr. Huff and Puff. This screencast is about the flow of blood through the heart. I've got some notes here as well to make sure that I get the information right for you as well. So the blood fills the heart during diastole and is pumped out of the heart during systole. The flow of blood between different structures is controlled by valves, which allow blood under high pressure to flow through them, but prevent it from flowing in the opposite direction. And on this diagram here, we've got some valves, tricuspid valve there, pulmonary valve here, and there should be another one I was looking for, which is here, the aortic valve as well. Okay, so the blood comes into the heart. We'll start with deoxygenated blood. Okay, so blood with no oxygen that has been used for exercise, and the deoxygenated blood comes into the right atrium, that's here, through the superior vena cava. Okay, so this blood is deoxygenated. And the blood then passes into the right ventricle, which is this chamber here. And you've got to remember, this is a cross-section of the heart, as if you're looking at somebody in front of you. All right, so the deoxygenated blood goes through the right atrium and passes into the right ventricle. And that's here. And it does that because this tricuspid valve opens and it closes behind it as the blood comes through. The right ventricle then contracts, okay, squeezes to force the blood out of the heart, and this goes to the lungs via the pulmonary artery, which is here. This is the pulmonary artery, and then as you can see on the diagram, it takes the deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Here is the pulmonary valve, and this opens and closes to allow the blood to go through and then take into the lungs. At the lungs, gaseous exchange occurs and oxygen is taken up by the blood. Okay, so oxygen is transferred from the lungs into the blood, and the blood then becomes oxygenated. The oxygenated blood is transported back to the heart and it goes into the left atrium, which is this area here. So it comes through the pulmonary veins here and here into the left atrium. Now this blood now, and this is why it's red, is oxygenated. It's full of oxygen, ready for the body to use for exercise or any other things that it needs it for. From the left atrium, okay, the blood then flows into the left ventricle, which is this chamber here. And it does this because the bicuspid valve here, it's called the mitral valve here, the bicuspid valve opens and closes. This allows the blood to come into this area here, into the left ventricle. From here, okay, the left ventricle then contracts and it goes through the aortic valve here into the aorta. And this is where the blood is then pumped from the left ventricle through this valve into the aorta, and then it travels around the body ready to be used. I hope that helps with the direction of how the blood moves through the heart, how it picks up oxygen, and how it is reoxygenated after it has no oxygen in it. If you have any questions, feel free to get hold of me, but hopefully that helps. Just a little thing to finish with, but the valves of the heart open due to the pressure of the blood, and they close to prevent backflow of blood and blood going the wrong direction. Feel free to check out more of my screencasts, and also feel free to find me on iTunes. I'm Mr. Huff and Puff, and I'm on iTunes. I do various podcasts on there as well. Thanks very much. #boom.